Alright, so we're going to talk about supplements, my diet, and the foods I think are best for lowering fat and preventing diabetes, obesity, and weight increase. So when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you want to do is drink at least 20 ounces to 30 ounces of water. Some people will drink lemon, cayenne, and apple cider vinegar in the morning. Some people will also just drink apple cider vinegar, maybe add the lemon. They may even warm that up. And so that is renowned for lowering obesity and lowering fat levels in the body. So if that's something that you want to try on an empty stomach or after breakfast in the morning, that's totally up to you. But you do want to make sure that you dilute the apple cider vinegar, because it'll be very acidic and it might give you a very sour feeling in the stomach. So if you're like me and don't want that feeling in the morning, I like to put my apple cider vinegar with extra virgin olive oil in a salad that I can eat. That way I know it's breaking down the vegetables that I'm eating, give me more absorption in the vitamins and minerals that I'm eating, and also that's when I get my apple cider vinegar. So some people like to just get it out of the way in the morning. That's totally fine. It's up to you. What I like to do on an empty stomach in the morning is have about 5 to 10 grams of glutamine with water, and I'll drink that the first thing in the morning. And so glutamine is really good for recovery. You typically want to take glutamine after a workout, but I like to take it in an empty stomach in the morning and at night. So supposedly some research says that it actually helps increase the muscle recovery in the intestinal lining. So for example, if you had Crohn's or celiac disease, this may help those suffering from that illness. Also, glutamine is good when taken with other things like creatine and water after a workout. And so I'll go into creatine next. Creatine I'll take if you want to look for size and you're trying to really increase size and strength. Creatine you want to take roughly like 1 tablespoon throughout the day. If you're starting it maybe once every, say, 2 hours. So throughout the day, maybe 5 times for your first week, and then cycle it down to about 3 tablespoons a day on your next week. And so every week maybe going down a couple tablespoons, because what creatine does is that it puts water inside the muscles and it helps your pump. And so when you work out, your blood flow goes into your muscles, but so does water. So creatine increases the water and volume of water that goes into the muscles. So you're going to feel bigger, you're going to feel stronger, you're going to have more pumps, but you also might get very dry and you might get a lot of cramps. So to prevent injury, you want to make sure that you're drinking lots and lots and lots of water when you're taking creatine. Creatine is probably one of the cheapest, best things to take if you're trying to increase muscle and size. So creatine and glutamine are my staples. Those I recommend to most athletes or most people that want to recover muscle and increase muscle size. So those two I recommend highly. Now, as far as other supplements, it goes down the line. So right now, I make sure that I get my omega-3s because it's really good for anti-inflammatory. It's really good for your joints and your tendons. So I get my omega-3s from my flax seeds, my chia seeds, and walnuts. And I eat those 3 every single day. They're very high in omega-3s, therefore I don't take a fish oil supplement. I fear for the mercury in the fish oil. I know that most fishing industries say that fishing is safe, but really there's so much plastic and pollutants in the water. I try to stay away from all things coming out of the ocean. So I might eat tuna once, maybe twice a week, if that. I try to keep my fish down. I don't eat a lot of fish unless I'm really competing for a show and I'm eating tilapia or a whitefish or a salmon a couple weeks before the show, just to get those omegas, get that rich protein. So another supplement we'll talk about is vitamin C, vitamin B, and vitamin A and vitamin K. Where do I get those from? So vitamin A, if you're eating sweet potatoes, if you're eating squash, if you're eating pumpkin, if you're eating kale, if you're eating carrot, you're getting vitamin A, okay? If you're vitamin B, so vitamin B is rich in rice, it's rich in beans, it's rich in whole grains and oats and eggs. So if you're getting your vitamin Bs and your dark green leafy vegetables, vitamin C, bell peppers, obviously you hear about oranges, but there's more vitamin C in, say, broccoli and cabbage and stuff like that. So making sure that you're eating your kiwi, which is really good before nighttime because it actually helps to help you go to sleep, and so does pistachios and tart cherries. So if you're trying to find sleep at night, I recommend those three: tart cherry, pistachios, and the one I said before that. So other supplements we'll talk about. As far as probiotic use, like I said, apple cider vinegar is going to help break down food. It's going to help the acids in the stomach, make the right gastro fluid to help break down anything that you put into your body. So if you're having trouble breaking down food, I recommend using a probiotic supplement. You want to keep those refrigerated. You take those on an empty stomach with a lot of water. That helps you create some good bacteria to help break down the foods in your stomach. So I really highly recommend creatine and glutamine. But as far as secondary supplements, we can talk a little bit about arginine, citrulline, niacin, and stuff like that before and during your workout. So those types of arginine, citrulline, niacin, those types of supplements, caffeine before a workout can really help stimulate blood flow and help you increase alertness and energy in the gym. So those things you might be interested in. Also, during your workout, it's okay to have sugar, or glycojet is a supplement I use during my workouts. And then after your workouts, I recommend something like glutamine to help recover, or creatine to help keep the cells full. So things that I eat as far as in a typical day, breakfast I'll have 10 eggs and I'll take 8 yolks out raw, and then I'll add in a whole tablespoon of cinnamon, a quarter cup of oats, half a cup of frozen blueberries, and then I blend that all up with 1 scoop of protein, and I use a NutriBullet. After that, I make 3 cups of loose leaf tea with chopped up ginger, and then I have my chia seeds and usually amino acids with creatine and glutamine in the morning. So another thing is amino acids. You get your amino acids in beans and rice. So if you eat beans and rice every day, you get your amino acids. If you eat green leafy vegetables and whole grains, you get your amino acids. So as long as you're eating a balanced diet, you're getting amino acids. But I like to throw them in my chia seeds and water and creatine in the morning just to get a quick pump. And before lunch, I usually have maybe a snack like a protein bar. I usually use crunch bars. I like those the best. I might have a handful of nuts or some raisins. And then for lunch, I usually have a whole grain peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but I use almond butter and I use blueberry preserves, and I put a ton of cinnamon. And I get Dave's bread. It's a very, very rich whole grainy bread. It's about $6 a loaf. Very expensive bread, but I recommend it. It's got tons of vitamin Bs, tons of protein, tons of whole grains. Very good for fiber, and we haven't talked about fiber yet. So there's soluble and insoluble fiber. Soluble fiber breaks down in your body, and it helps soak and help other nutrients digest. Insoluble fiber doesn't break down, and it goes through your body and it collects with it, and it scrapes, let's just say a seed or a stem of an apple goes through your body. That is insoluble. It will not break down. So it'll scrape and it'll go through the intestinal lining, and it might take with it cholesterol, it might take with it fats, it might take with it some type of carcinogen with it. So that's really good and important to know that soluble and insoluble fiber helps kind of get the junk out of your body. So really important to have a lot of high fiber in your diet. That's why I do the chia seeds, the flax seeds. It's important to have the nuts and the seeds in the diet to help with the fiber. But some people who have Crohn's or celiacs can't have nuts, seeds, or anything like that. So it's really just important on your functionality of your digestive system. So this is my first supplement video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and then also make sure that you write down your question for my next video. Thanks a lot.